Hi, grandparents. Welcome to High Value Parenting. This video is for you as grandparents because you could play a very prominent role in the development of your grandchildren. Hopefully this interests you. So the title of this one is How to Have Happier Grandkids. Lesson 1. So as part of the lesson in having happier grandkids, what's going to make them happier overall is being able to do the things that solve their problems quicker and easier. You could take the example of yourself. If you encounter some situation and it's very difficult or it takes a long time, it's going to put you in a bad mood. It would put anyone in a bad mood. So your grandchildren are going through this too. At their age, under the age of 1, most babies will cry a lot. They're unhappy. They're frustrated. They can't communicate. And they sometimes give up on their care providers because they can't get what they need. Sometimes they're too hot, sometimes too cold, hungry, tired, thirsty, lonely, and so on. So during year 1, what you as the grandparent will be trying to do is perform the lessons that I have for the parents, but you'll be doing it because you have the time or the inclination. So for year 1, what's going to be going on for the scope of it is we're going to try to start as early as we can as grandparents to begin to teach a series of lessons and developmental milestones which over the course of the year will greatly help the child, both with its development that it's trying to do and with the future milestones that it hasn't yet tried to reach yet. So by way of example, if you haven't seen the other videos in the series, a child, a baby, will start trying to lift its head up at some point, and that's considered physical developmental milestone when it can raise its head by itself. That has to do entirely with the muscle strength that the baby has. As it starts moving around, it develops muscle strength, and with the decision of the baby to do that. So the mental developmental milestones occur when the baby has enough stimulus in its environment, enough learning experiences that it can start trying to make more sense out of its world and communicate or perform a task that indicates this level of development. So there's a list of these milestones in a number of places on the web, and I'll make a list of them later. But the information that I'm trying to give to you, if you haven't heard it elsewhere, is that you can speed up and accelerate the development of these milestones in your grandkids simply by helping your grandkids to try to reach these milestones. So one of the early other videos had to do with the physical articulation of sounds when children try to do it. Children that grow up in homes with less talking often, usually, develop talking later. They don't have the same amount of environmental sound that they can hear and remember and try to repeat. So of the many things that you're going to try to do, saying sounds to your grandkids is going to be one of them. One of the other reasons that you should be or consider being actively involved in teaching your grandkids is it represents a great opportunity to bond with your grandkids and deliver additional instructions and information that they're unlikely to get anywhere else. You may become the primary caregiver, helping out your children while they go to work or do whatever else they need to do, maybe get some sleep. First year is often very draining for the parents. And so by providing this input of yourself, this investment of time, it will be very rewarding to you personally. Also frustrating at some point as you keep doing these things and the baby apparently doesn't really seem to notice right away. But that's to be expected. After a certain point of repetition, you will come to terms with the realities that you have to keep doing it over and over and over until they get it. So the additional time that you're putting into this, in addition to your kids, the parents putting their time into it, provides a greater range of experience for your grandchild to compose their thoughts and their experiences as they try to make sense of the world around them. So, at a minimum, you should either decide that you are going to develop or design a year-long plan for you to follow so that you can accomplish the training of your grandchild that you want to put forth. And I'm saying it in that way because if you're going to be the one performing the exercises, it's more of a monologue for a lot of it, most of it. And so you'll have to make the agreement with yourself that you're going to keep doing this. Now, I've batched my lessons into 30-day pieces, one a month. That way it's real easy to tell when you start and when you finish. And then at the end of the year, you go back and you look at it, and anything that you didn't cover or that you didn't get the results that you wrote down the results, because the baby won't necessarily be meeting your expectations. It would be kind of strange if the baby met your expectations. So what we're going to do is put the expectations on your behavior and not on the baby. We're just providing the experience and the environment of learning, and the baby will pick up whatever the child picks up. So there's no stress. A lot of parents are concerned, we're putting our baby under stress. There's no stress. You're simply providing the information and the environment, and the baby picks up whatever it picks up. But then at the end of the year, you go back and look and assess what you might be doing for the next year. So you can make your own plan, you can follow mine. It doesn't matter to me. It's not going to impact me at all. But if you're doing it, it's going to impact you. So you'll want to look through and figure out what level of involvement you want to have and what level of time you're going to spend planning things. So if you want to do it all yourself, you can do it yourself. If you want to do mine, you do mine. And you'll find the good fit for you. So I haven't really given you any lessons in this video, but that's the overview of what the series is going to be about, is giving you the lessons with a little more directed guidance to you as opposed to the parents. Because having already been through it yourself and able to look back on the time that you've been alive, you can see a lot of mistakes that other parents are already making and don't really want any criticism for the most part. And as a result of your wisdom over this amount of time, you'll be able to take the actions to prevent certain omissions or certain mistakes that your kids are going to make with their grandkids. So you don't have the authority exactly to tell your kids how to raise their kids. But if you take the initiative to provide the training that you think will be valuable, then there doesn't have to be any conflict there. There will be no harm to your grandkids by teaching them these things. And so if you are babysitting the kids and you decide to go over these lessons, there shouldn't be any problem there. I mean, obviously you'd have to work it out with your kids if there was, but as far as the opportunity to provide the guidance, it's right there. So, well, I hope I explained enough for you to decide whether you want to watch the rest of the series. And if you have any questions, there's a video about questions and answers where you can contact me there. Well, thanks for taking this time to share with me. I hope I've said some stuff of value, and have a good life.